Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of the Stone Genius Podcast. My name is Ro. I'm the Stone Genius. You know me, I am often stoned. I'm always a genius. Trying to get comfortable in my chair. So it's not the chair that I'm having an issue with. So I had one of those pads underneath the chair, and it was supposed to help when I would move around. So it was for on top of carpet, so so I can move. So it broke. So after a long time, the plastic just broke. So I ordered another one. It literally tried to kill me. Not it almost killed me. It tried to kill me. And if you go, hey, bro, how on earth would something inanimate like that try to kill you? Well, it did. It would curl up on the edges. It would jump at me. Like it should be flat on the floor and I would go to step over it and it would trip me. And here's how I envisioned it ending for me. I tripped on that and then it would plant me head first, forehead first into the wall, snapping my neck because of the angle that I would have come down at. And I would have died. And actually it would have been a slow death. I would have slid down the wall, and then I would have stared at the thing I tripped over, because that would be how it goes out for me. Okay, I'm glad to start that off on such a cheery note today. Oh, you're welcome. Let's see. We are going to have, so I believe the title of this show, and by the time you've listened to this, you'll already know if this is the title of the show, was going to be Woman's Choice, Man versus Bear, or Man or Bear. So evidently something came out, I don't know where, how, blah, blah, yada, yada, somewhere on the intranets, something came out where they were asking women if they were alone in the woods, would they rather, I think, come across a bear or a man, a stranger? And those were the only things, I think. And I don't know if you listen to some men, you would think that every woman wants to be with a bear, would rather be with a bear. Here's the thing. Don't blame them. I don't think the number is quite 100%. I believe that it's probably high, not 100%. That being said, the guys that are, so I work with someone, I've said this before, so they would be considered an incel. And like incels are generally seen as violent, blah, blah, yada, yada. An incel just means involuntarily celibate. Now, what you'll find with many incels is they'll tell you that they have gotten to the point where they prefer. Why they're telling you this, I don't know. Why they feel like they need to offer some of this information up, that they would prefer masturbation or self-gratification over being with a partner. Oh, and how it came up is I was saying something about my wife, and this person saying, well, I would never want one of those, which is odd how often people that don't want one of those are often the same people that could never get one of those. That being said, I think that is where the retort came of, well, I would rather just take care of myself than I would rather masturbate. I was like, okay. I mean, it's not like I thought that the women, so here's the strikes. And like in baseball, there's 3 and you're out. Unfortunately, this list probably doesn't stop at 3. I mean, let's just hit 3 though. Let's say the clothing, the appearance, separate from the clothing, and their personality. Those all, like, none of them say, hey, I would like a partner that is going to enjoy being around me and wants to stay around me. None of those things say that. And then there's a lot of other things as well. But here's the thing. So I first heard of this from this person. So they are, and here's the thing. I recorded it. So I recorded my coworker talking because we're in public. So guess what? You can be recorded. Fuck off. And so I recorded them. And even though, so I didn't do it in a way that, because of what they were saying, I knew they would clam up. It's not that I care that what I was recording, it was what they would just clam up. It would change their, and I didn't need that. So I had my phone, record on my phone in my pocket. And so the audio is not great. You can hear them. I have to turn it up super high. You have a lot of audio background noise, hissing in it. So, but it gives me the transcript. But the funny thing is that these guys that are just so upset that girls that they would choose so here's what I'm just going to say what I would do. I know I'm not normal. I know that nothing in my previous life when I was single, I can't even fathom what this person is going through. I I can't even. So for me, if I heard that a woman would rather run into a bear than a man in the woods, I would be like, okay, and I mean, I wouldn't. Why does that bother? I mean, so here's the problem. Here's why you're involuntarily celibate, is that your reaction, like literally screaming, why don't they want to run into a man? Why wouldn't they want to run into a man? Why would they want to be with a bear? The bear could eat them. Them screaming like they are insane. Like if you didn't really know, like if you just caught the conversation and you were trying to figure out why someone was screaming about choosing to be with a bear, you would be, here's the thing. That behavior, like all you have to do is get someone to talk about it, record their behavior, and that's going to tell you whether or not they will ever be with someone. Here's the thing. People that are going to be with someone, they don't give a shit. Oh, they would rather be with a bear? Okay, have fun with a bear. I mean, yeah. And then secondly, you're getting upset about some sort of like, I don't even know where they would do some sort of poll like this, but you're getting upset with a poll where the whole basis is, would you rather? So first of all, if you drop it to the baseline, this is never going to be a choice. I mean, I don't think that you get picked up by terrorists and those are your choices that you have. I'm going to drop you in the woods. You're either going to run into a man or a bear. We have one woods that's populated by a man and one woods that's populated by a bear. Which one do you want to go to? Because then they may have some, like, maybe I could take a guy. I mean, guys, especially today, are pretty scrawny. I would say here's the thing. Our oldest, Mo, I would say could take almost, not any, could hold their own very well. And I believe that most women could. Guys are wimps today. They don't know. Everyone got a trophy. No one got hurt. No one got roughed up. No one got concussed and had to keep playing with the concussion. I'm not saying all that shit's right, but you learn stuff when that happens. When you get knocked unconscious and then you return to the game later, yes, that is a medical malpractice probably waiting, but it does teach you things. I think. I don't know. Maybe not. But this person is so insane. And they always talk, not always, they often talk like this when They can't understand why. And once again, because then the blame has to be thrown out. Never taking, oh, well, maybe it was something I said, maybe it was something I did, maybe something like that. It's always, well, they have a problem. Maybe they just don't like being screamed at. Maybe if the two options were being screamed at by someone who, once again, doesn't dress well, doesn't appear well, and has a horrible personality, if that's the option, hang out with them or be killed nearly instantly and eaten by a bear, or even if you're not killed by a bear. I mean, even if you're being eaten alive, I would still think that's got to be less painful long term than hanging out with this person. I've hung out with this person long term. I often have said the exact words have come out of my mouth. Oh my God, if I could have a bear eat me right now, I would be the happiest person alive. Actually, that probably should have been, well, what can you do? So here's the deal, guys. Once again, I'm trying to help young people out, young guys out, young people. Just, if you're trying to find someone, don't fucking get upset. If someone doesn't want to be with you, so people in the society, we've had this conversation before, so I'm going to pass it along to all you non-big brains. Don't try to be with someone that doesn't want to be with you. Often it's said, that sometimes people with high IQ have trouble meeting other people, which you do. That's why there are high IQ societies, so that you can hang out and do that. That's why there's other things that people join so that they have a common connection that way. And they can speak about something on a level that others can relate to. But Jiminy crack horn. I do understand why many women would prefer running into a bear. And it's not always that the bear, because here's the thing also. Like this guy, I'm just going to read some of it. Because that's the cool thing about my recording is that it will transcribe for me. So, no, hold on. That's it. The incel. Let's see. So he's talking about, so that I don't know how long they'd been talking about this. So by the time I finally get in, your order of importance is completely fucked. You choose to be killed, right, versus being raped in worst case scenario. Right. Not talking to me. He's talking to someone else. I'm recording this. Excuse me. So immediately they say that you chose to be killed. So they're already saying that the bear is going to kill you. In the worst case scenario that you're going to get raped. Well, first of all, what? I mean, so if the worst case scenario is getting raped and not getting killed, here's one thing. And I've seen the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, which I can't think of right now, but I think I would rather not be raped by a bear. So like if the choices are like this person's saying that you choose to get killed versus raped, worst case scenario, right? Well, that's not the worst case scenario, because if the worst case scenario with the bear is getting killed, then I would think that worst case scenario would be being killed by a human being. But the bear, I don't know. I mean, humans can kill in so many ways. So here's the deal. Once again, let's just get to this point. Don't want to be raped by a bear. That's probably going to be in the title of this program. Don't be raped by a bear. So number 2, you choose to be killed by a bear, right, versus being raped, worst case scenario. Who knows? That could have been a park ranger who could have taken care of the bear for you that showed up. So once again, this person is trying to say human has a lot of good qualities. Bear, bad. Bear, bad. bear, and they don't even say what kind of bear. It doesn't, to my knowledge, it doesn't say grizzly bear versus, how about if it's a panda bear and you get to go up and tickle it, which I know that panda bears probably aren't cute. I mean, I've literally never seen anyone, I don't think, tickling a panda bear. So, but I mean, koala bear, how about if it's a koala bear? Yeah, I would rather run across a koala bear than almost anyone except for Bobby. Like if they go, oh, your dad who passed away 10 years ago, you can see him or a koala bear. I would probably pick the koala bear. I saw my dad for 54 years. I'm not saying that I don't miss my dad. I'm just saying I've literally never hung out with a koala bear. So how about once again, how does the human get to be a park ranger, but the bear's the cocaine bear? Which was a great movie. I actually am probably going to watch that after the show now that I've brought that up. Two things I very much enjoy, cocaine and bears. I'm just kidding. I only enjoy one of those. I thought I'd hit them all. So let's see. So in your fear-based, so once again, it could have been a park ranger picked you up. So in your fear-based paranoia, in the year of desire to manipulate, and it could have missed, I don't understand that, to manipulate and control over men. So see, once again, he's blaming the woman now because they want to control him somehow. So your fear-based paranoia and desire to manipulate and control men as them being inherently evil. So men inherently evil. So he's already said that women, and he's going to categorize all women, not just the women that picked the bear, not just the women that were in this particular, the poll or whatever they ran to ask this. He's going to blame all women. So once again, the guy is a park ranger, probably the best park ranger ever. I mean, I don't know how they quantify park rangers. Like the only real park ranger that I can think of is the one with Yogi Bear, and I don't think he was that good. I mean, the bears ate a lot of stuff and they weren't supposed to eat anything. So I don't know how you would quantify. And that guy was on a TV show. And it wasn't like world's worst park rangers. It wasn't world's best. It was about a bear. But the park ranger that they used couldn't have been the worst, or they wouldn't have used him. I get it. It's a cartoon. Get over it. Let's just pretend like they're real people, Yogi included. And so, like, why? I don't know how you quantify a park ranger, but it's whoever the park ranger is, best park ranger ever. Bear, evil, cocaine, probably. And this isn't even cocaine bear. Cocaine bear is probably nice compared to this bear. This bear that these women are running into, probably meth bear. And if it's from Missouri, it 100% is a meth bear. Anyhow, anyway. So let's see. So inherently evil, to make them the person you want them to be, you've created this vicious scenario that has no data backing it up. So he is blaming the women that they have no data to back anything up by introducing no data backed up by nothing. Just to remember. Okay. In terms of the number of men, you're arguing to the exception that one man raped somebody one time is an example of every other male out there. So remember now, once again, saying that a woman says that guys are bad because a guy raped a girl once, and that's why all men are bad. But he is saying that all women are bad because they would rather hang out with a bear. Let's see. And number two, the rate of bears. And I don't remember this, so I'm reading this as we see, as you're hearing it as I'm reading it again. And number two, the rate of bears. It's not a generalization at all. So floating around the internet, and it's like all of these people are getting like, and well, you missed the point of the educational story. And I'm going, no, that you're supposed to teach men to be better people or something like that. Or is this how bad men are in general? What it really says is how prejudiced you are, that you have drummed this up in your mind as the worst thing in the world was, I was like, fine. Choose the bear. Watch your daughter. We won't have an overpopulation problem anymore. We're not going to have an overpopulation problem anymore. So, and then you can hear me at the end. So this is, I go, when I did my episodes on incels, the videos I watched shouted very much like this. So, yeah. So I guess what I'm getting from all this is we've solved the overpopulation problem. Is girls want to be eaten by bears? So yeah. So once again, the problem is that they want to say the guy that's going to find them is the best guy ever. And I'm still telling you, I have said this on this program before. I worked with a guy who murdered someone after I worked with him. Murdered someone. Even knowing that now, I would still rather hang out with that person than this person. I mean, not even close. That person I enjoyed talking to, that literal, if they said, hey, I don't want to talk about it happen, I could. And I would just be like, so, I mean, I could talk to them. This person I don't even want to talk to. I literally want to be eaten by a bear. I mean, I would be pissed. Like, if I got in the woods, so if that was my choice, be with this coworker or be with a bear in the woods, I immediately choose bear 100,000 times out of 1. That's how often I choose it. So I am in the woods with a bear. Do you know how fucking pissed I would be? Like if the bear comes up and I'm like, good, the bear's going to get me. I'm going to be put out of my misery because I know that this coworker is just around the corner. And I can hear him. I can in the bear, and it sees me, and then it like gives me a head nod, and then it just fucking walks off. I would be pissed. I would punch the bear. I would try to get the bear to be in a fight with me. That, or I introduce it to my coworker and maybe he seems more tasty. He is so afraid of all bears eating everyone in the woods that would terrify him. So I need to ask that follow-up question. The follow-up question is, well, what would you do if you found a woman in the woods? My guess is he wouldn't tell anyone. Just let that sink in for a second. Okay, let's see what other things do I have. So here's the deal. In synopsis, I do not blame women at all for choosing bear over man. And if, like he says, worst case scenario is being raped by a man, some reason it's being killed by a bear, I think it needs to be changed. So it's either being killed by both or being raped by both. Here's the deal. If I'm killed by either one, I think a bear is going to make it quicker because that's their nature. They want to boom, kill, and eat their prey. That it doesn't need to be that quick with a human. So benefit to the bear. Now, if I'm going to be raped by one of them, oh man, I can't even tell you how quick this is. It's going to be probably a human. And I say probably because remember I brought up a koala bear. And like, I don't even know. I mean, Like, would you deny that story? Like, say you travel to Australia. This is a side topic here, but I think it's a very important side topic for people because we have an international audience. 54 countries listen to this program currently. So we have people that are on holiday and vacation and all these things. And if you go to Australia, you may want to think about this beforehand because if it happens, your first thing may be, I need to deny this. And what we're talking about is being raped by a koala bear. Now, could they do it? I don't know. I mean, when I've seen them, they tend to walk really slow. And it just seems like if you were afraid of that happening from a koala bear, that you could probably prevent it by just walking away. But let's say they get to you. I'm sorry this is developed and this is what we're talking about. But we've started talking about bears and people and the such. So the koala bears and if you got raped by a koala bear, would you, so here's the thing. This is why you should think about stuff like this. So if it happened, like you think you're near the beach. I don't know if koala bears go near the beach. I don't fucking know what goes on down under. And so you're somewhere, and you decide you need to relieve yourself. And I don't know if they do that in the rest of the world. Here in civilized United States of America, where we are number one. I don't think I've said that enough lately. We are number one at everything. Hold on. Number one. So, anyway, I'm down there and here, like if I needed to go to the rest, you may go behind like a tree or something. Like if there is not a proper place to go to the restroom, you may find yourself going to, like behind a tree or something like that. So say you do that, you're in the outback. No, you're not outback. You're in Australia. I don't know where koalas are. I know they're in Australia, but I don't know. Whatever. I'm not a koala aficionado. In fact, I didn't even know I'd be talking about koala bears. I didn't know this show was going to get so rapey either when I talked about this, when I was thinking about this. Anyway. So you go. You're with a family function, like you're celebrating something outdoors. You got to go relieve yourself. You go, what you think is just behind some bushes, you get raped by a koala bear. One, I don't know how they move. Like, I don't know if they move in packs or gaggles or schools like fishes. I don't know how koalas move. Let's just say it's a one-on-one. It happens. So if you have not thought about this, if you come back out and you're like, and it looks like you've just had sex and everyone's like, what the fuck just happened? Like everyone else is here. So who did you just have sex with? Like you may be like, I don't know, I jerked off. I don't know what you respond to that. That may be you may say that and people will look at you weird, but they're not going to. If you tell someone you just went behind some bushes and jerked off, probably, if they are not in law enforcement, you're probably not going to have any follow-up questions. I'm just saying. The number of follow-up questions to something, a statement like that, is going to be very limited. I think it would be next to zero. So, but here's the deal. Now that you've thought about it, so now that you know later this summer you're going to be on holiday in Australia, and if you get raped by a koala bear, you may want to consider telling people. I mean, here's the thing. Before now, and I'm afraid to Google this. I'm not going to Google it on my own stuff. That's for sure. I'll wait till work tomorrow. But how many people do you think have ever been raped by a koala bear? My guess is zero. And even if the number is higher than zero, if it's anything other than zero, we've probably never heard about it because, like, here's the thing. Most people would be like, so I heard, hey, Roger, I heard that you were raped by a koala last week. And if that does not sound Australian or anything from the southern hemisphere or anything in that geographical location, that's okay. I'm just doing a voice. It's a voice I want to do right now for no reason. Did I say rolled ya? Hey, rolled. Oh, I can't do that. So like you ask Roger whether he was. No one's going to admit to it. No one's going to say that they were ever. I've never heard of that. So now, if you were, see, this is where. Like, have fun. Now I'm almost excited. Like, I would like for this to be a legitimate. Like, I want them to ask women. Like, you don't get to pick the guy or the bear that's there. It's not necessarily going to be, it may be a grizzly, and it may not have eaten for weeks, and it may see you, and it may devour you immediately. Or it could be like this guy who hasn't got laid in, I can only imagine, years. I mean, I have no basis. Just like a lot of the statements they made, they had no basis for those statements. I have literally no. Well, the only basis I have, I've never heard them talk about being with anyone in the year and a half plus that I've known them. So, I mean, it's not like you have to be me and just be out and about it. But I mean, generally someone, or their demeanor, you can tell this person hasn't gotten laid in a while. And even if you're jerking off a lot, there's a difference than a jerk off release and a having sex with a partner release. So I can tell you that when there's just something, and I don't know if it's the romance between me and Bobby that I think she's so hot. I don't know what it is, but I'll guarantee you that there would be a different. So, and this person, from all outward signs, from everything they project to the outward world, this person has not been laid in since COVID. I'm going to say maybe something happened at COVID, and that was more due to a lockdown type thing. I don't know that. I'm just making a guess. If I was to go to DraftKings or one of those betting sites and post a bet for this, because I think you can bet on anything. If I was to bet on this, the over-under or before after that I would do would be like whenever everything shut down, like March of 2020, whatever that, like mid-March, like March 17th, 19th, whatever that date was kind of here in America where everything shut down. That's where I'd make the before after. And I would say like, yeah. Like, I would even say, like, once everything got lifted and people knew they could go out and interact with other people, I think that would have been shut down, if that even happened. I may be giving them the benefit of the doubt, which I usually don't do. Let's see. Enough about man or bear. Let's see. So one of my coworkers said that one of their customers called me a zaddy. I had to look that up. Zaddy. Yeah. So that was okay. I've had customers ask me, they go, "Do you really not remember me?" And so what I am going to start telling people is, it's not my fault if you're not memorable. It's not. Like, literally, people don't forget me. I'm memorable. And here's the thing. Doesn't always need to be in a good way. I'm not saying that me being memorable is like everyone needs to be like me. Like 6'5" makes you memorable. Oh, I remember. He's tall. I don't blend in. Like, we got bald guys I work with. They get confused all the time. No one ever confuses me with them. There's a lot of reasons. I'm handsome. I'm fit. I'm handsome and fit. I'm 6'5". They don't. They just don't. Let's see. So, Though be memorable. Let's see. The last couple things I'm going to say. I'm going to keep this well under an hour. I mean, I was really churning out. I mean, I guess when I'm talking about incels and bears, I can go fairly quickly for a half an hour, and then everything just. I know. I'm sorry. So opposites. Have you ever gone to pick up a drink? So I do not drink tea, like iced tea. I don't drink tea. I don't drink coffee. I'm not going to confuse coffee. But every once in a while, I think that, like, if Bobby and I will have been to a restaurant and say we get the same size drink containers to go. I like how we call them containers and not cups. Same size cups. You know, they look outward. Say it's from like a gas station. We go in, say it's like a styrofoam cup with a plastic top, which, as we all know, is perfect for the environment. Many studies have been done, and they will be enjoying their time on here for thousands upon thousands of years. That being said, so we have the same styrofoam cups, so you really can't tell. And you go to pick it up. Now, I will say if you have tea and you pick it up and you sip Dr. Pepper, because it has to be dark. If it's my Mountain Dew, it's not getting confused with tea. And so, you know, if you've drinking pop before, you're probably not like, ugh. I mean, I don't drink tea. So maybe if you didn't drink Dr. Pepper, you'd be like, let's just say it's shocking. So when you go, like if I go and like, oh, that's my cup and I think it's Dr. Pepper, it's not, it's tea and bleh. I don't like it. Boo, hiss. I went to go squeeze Bobby's boobs. Like it was later in the evening. I mean, by this time, they usually have been released. And I went up to grab them and they were still broad. BRA''D. It was funny because Bobby she reads my notes in my books every once in a while. And she goes broad. Well, when she was saying broad, I was super fucking high at the time, which shouldn't make a difference. But sometimes I take things super literal. So I wasn't, she was referencing, I think all she was saying was something about the broad comment. And I was thinking BROAD, like a broad distance, a broad, kind of a slang term for a woman. I forgot that I had sometimes I write notes and then I forget because my notes aren't memorable. Just like I said, you need to be memorable. My notes need to be memorable. That's why I write them down. Because honestly, if they were that memorable, I wouldn't have to write them down. Let's see. What else we got coming up? This is going to be a short show. Oh, you're welcome. Hold on. You're welcome. Let's see. Coming up at the end of this month when this comes out, it should come out on the 28th of May, 2024. Man, this year's flying by. On the 31st, I believe 918 Slasher, friend of the show, great up-and-coming rapper from the state of Oklahoma, is releasing a new song, dropping a new song, I believe is what they say. And I believe my show was sampled for the beginning of that, which I did get permission for. So I believe that it was sampled, which is super cool. So that drops. So if you want to hear that, I will get links out to that. We have Chris Russell will be on the next episode. If you're listening to these chronologically, then thank you as well. So we talk about, he's been a podcaster for like 15 years. He's done this. He's seen the highs and lows. He actually does a serial podcast about life after the apocalypse. And it is getting ready to just wrapped up its 4th season, getting ready to start its 5th season. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about podcasting. We have some other great guests coming to the program here real soon as well. We already have them booked. Booking has just gotten a lot easier for me. Hold on. Yeah. This is just a weird time right now, especially here in the United States. I don't know about around the world. Did I mention we're listened to in 54 countries? Last time, I think it was about 44, maybe 46, 8. I don't know. Somewhere. It was under 50. We're over 50 now. So Then it'll be over 60, over 70. Don't really care. Actually, when we get to 69, my fear is we'll jump like 68 to 70 in one day. When we get to 69, I will stop counting. And I will want to find out what the 69th country is, and I may give them a plaque or something. Like, I don't know where I would send it and who I would give it to. Maybe just a random person. Like, would you accept this on behalf of your country as being the 69th country in the world to listen to my podcast? That actually sounds pretty cool. I bet someone would do that. And people would go to it would literally be like a showpiece at their house. People would walk in and be like, "Hey, Boris, what's this? This podcast thing? Why is this up on the wall?"
Well, you know why? Because this guy just reached out to me and he said, "Will you put this up because your country was the 69th country?"
And if you're wondering why neither one of those accents sounded the same, it's because we don't care what people sound like. You know what? That's not what makes a person good or bad. It's their name, Boris. Boris is a bad person. Anyone named Boris is a bad person. I don't know that to be true. And I don't mean to slander any good Borises, but I'm 56 and I've never heard of a good Boris. Probably because I'm 56 and I grew up during the Cold War. So Boris was probably not... Like, that was probably a curse word in the 70s that I could say. Like, I couldn't say, "God damn it." But if I could say, "Oh, Boris," same thing. Same exact thing. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. What else do we have going on? Last thing. So Bobby made... so fucking good. Bobby made brownies with Rolos in them. If you're not familiar with the candy Rolo, then you don't have a pal. I haven't seen a Rolo commercial in, 30 years. It used to be Rolo to your pal. It's chocolate covered caramel. To make it rhyme, I guess. Yummy. I love chocolate and caramel, whatever. Yum, yum, yum. So they're good anyway. The worst thing about Rolos is packaging. Especially if you get like a bag, they individually fucking wrap these things in tin foil. I mean, you're going to lose a lot of people. Once the dexterity starts to go for us with advanced age, I know 56, probably not what we'd consider advanced age anymore. It's not fun for me. You know, the most fun is when Bobby is using them to cook and then she opens too many by accident. And then I just go in and I eat all the open ones. I mean, yeah, it's not a sight. Like, if you've ever, you say you never eat. Well, you don't want to see me eating like that. Just going after a bunch of naked Rolos. Which sounds like... That should be a t-shirt. I'm going to write that down. Going after a bunch of naked Rolos. Naked Rolos. Great t-shirt. Anyway, so made chocolate brownies with Rolos in them. So cut the Rolos in half, and then you'd put 2 halves in there. It's chocolate. It's a brownie. It's fucking chocolate brownie, so it's already fucking good. I mean, it's chocolate. Did I mention that? So, and then you put a Rolo. So then you melted chocolate inside a chocolate brownie. Not done. So, chocolate brownie, chocolate from the Rolo, caramel from the Rolo, all infused into this. I mean, like, the only thing that can make it better / worse, because I want to say bacon would make it better, but bacon sounds disgusting with this, but it is bacon. So take it for what it is. Anyhow, anyway. So here's the note. I go, Rolo brownies, as good as drugs? ? So that was the statement question was, Rolo brownies, as good as drugs? My answer to myself was no, but add drugs to Rolo brownies. You're welcome. Yeah. And if you had a Rolo brownie, if you were a woman and you were in the woods, I bet if you offered, trying to think of who would enjoy that more. Guys are pretty fat in America now. So if we're talking American, then they will probably choose the Rolo brownie. Either one of them. So you could take that. But yeah, and add drugs to them. Add drugs to them, then you have a cocaine bear. Anywho, anyhow, anyway. Short show, 45 minutes. You're welcome. It is hard. It's hard to do solo shows anymore. But I'm going to keep doing them because it's hard. But once I can finally get the mic turned on and get it going, it's not that bad. And next time, I will try not to be so exhausted from such a wonderful Memorial Day here in the United States. So, anywho, anyhow, anyway, my name's Ro. You guys have been listening to my podcast, which is named The Stone Genius. After me, I'm the Stone Genius. You know me, I'm often stoned. Always a genius. Talk to y'all later. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you do find yourself in the woods with a bear or a guy, I don't know. I would go towards the bear. I honestly would. And then I would point at the guy and say, attack. I don't know. Maybe they understand English. Who knows? Talk to you later. Bye.